Hey everyone, Mike, owner and builder of the Mercury Capri that we see behind us here. I'm away on vacation, and I was thinking about the channel itself, and we're starting to get some subscribers, and I wanted to implement some other things that I think are missing. So I'd like to tell you the story about the Mercury Capri that I have from the beginning. So if you can imagine back in the 80s, the 1980s, we had no internet. We had We didn't have a lot. We had magazines. We didn't have anything to look at. We have no reference of anything, except for when you got on the street and would race somebody. And that's, at that point in my life, I was young. I was open to whatever was out there. And no matter what they say online, I was actually there. And we'd go down Elm Street and run cars and whatnot. So I had my buddy in the mid 80s bought a brand new Z28. I'll never forget this. And we went down Elm Street to run a few light to light runs. And I do not condone that, by the way. But we did a few, we get to the track, we get to the lights. And this, on our right-hand side, this old 5.0, it was beat up, pulled up next to us. And when we took off, that 5.0 just soared past that brand new Z28. I looked over at my buddy, I'm like, I want one of those. And that's really where it started. Fast forward a little bit, I had purchased a 79 5.0, changed the motor, changed the transmission, did all kinds of different things to it. I've had a couple of them, and then a couple of different 5.0s. And then I set my sights on buying a nice one. I wanted to find a nice 5.0, solid, something that hadn't been ripped apart or taken apart or blown up. And I'll never forget, it was 1989. I started searching. I went to auctions. Back then it was one advertised magazine. And I was on the search. We didn't have the internet. So fast forward to the very beginning of 1990. I was driving by a dealership. I saw that black Capri and I pulled in and I talked to the dealer. I'm like, tell me about this car. Here's what he said. The Mercury Capris are faster, and they were, than the Mustang GTs. They had a better handling suspension, and they do have a better handling suspension. It had a posi track in it, sat lower, had the Recaro seats in it, different gauges. So that got my interest. When I saw this car, test drove it for the first time, I bought it. And I brought it home. I think it's important that we get a starting point. I just wanted to explain to everybody that I'm going to try to get the subscriptions up here and the story up on this car. And that's where it started. So bear with me as I learn how to do this YouTube stuff. Person that helped me is no longer with us anymore, and I'm doing this by myself. So stay tuned for the next chapter.